with a cough. Well, I'm just going to keep going here and hope somebody's here. I don't know if anyone's there yet. I'll just talk and hope somebody turns up. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about occultism and stuff. I hope everyone can hear me. One thing I'd like to talk about, which I think is really important, is the fact that, well, it's about Britain, but not just Britain, the world. Basically, Britain, you see, we've got this problem, and I don't think many of us have worked it out. We're not really capitalist anymore. Now, the reason I'm saying that is, yes, we have money and things like this, but the thing is, you see, is that it's not like a capitalist country. Now, I understand that communism was a good idea, but it didn't work, okay? It's the idea that communism, basically, that you end up with a situation where people aren't buying and selling things so much. It's just money just moves because it's all owned by the state. So it just moves around and they do whatever the hell they want with your money and your stuff, okay? And that's basically what's happening now in the UK. We've got that many rules and regulations that I don't think anyone really believes that people are making money through buying and selling and trading and changing things anymore. We're not really. We're not trading and stuff. We are, but we're not. Money's just being moved around. And that means that if somebody wants you to never get rich, it doesn't matter what you do, they won't, because you won't, because they control the money and they just won't let it be there. They'll just move it out of the way. They'll literally control it, you see. It doesn't really make any difference because at this point, we British are in this terrible situation where we're actually basically in a communist country. We don't know it. We can't prove it, you see. Because under capitalism, laissez-faire, let free and let pass. You see, things just happen. People buy and sell. And see, that's the view of the world I was given when I was a child. That's the view of the world we were all given at school. This was a capitalist country and you have to make money. And that's the only thing you've got to do, really. And that was the idea. So we're all given the idea what we had to do, you see. You had to either work within or you had to try and own the means of production, which would be a business or something. And then you did that. And that was a good thing. If you, the concept was, if you own the means of production, you were pretty much home and dry within that system. You actually had to expand it, from that way. I mean, you weren't really, because things had to be unstable. But that was the concept, you see. And it made it much easier. We all knew where we were. It may have been a gross oversimplification, but we all had some idea where we were, you see. But it's not like that at all. Because instead of this system where people are buying and selling and things, what you've got instead is money just being moved around. Okay? Let's be honest. Does anyone really believe that at this point in time, that anyone, is doing anything fairly, that things are really happening, and you've got a square chance? You don't. You've got a better than average chance or a lower than average chance. Nobody's ever going to give you an equal chance, okay? So if someone's decided, or the country's decided you're not going to make money, they will try to keep you poor forever, regardless of anything else, okay? And that means that just like in Russia, where they could screw up people's exams, where you had the academic death, which was simply a few pissed off an academic that make sure you never pass an exam your entire life, no matter how clever you were. So they want to steal your idea. Basically, you wouldn't pass anything. Okay? That happens now. It's pretty obvious that occurs now to people. Why do you get people who are so clever and brilliant in the world, yet they say, somebody got this degree or she got this? It's bullshit, basically. It's not just a matter of, well, this isn't really the same as the world. It's bullshit. What it is that these people are basically stopping people from passing, stopping people from doing well, as they did in Russia, the academic death, because they wanted to steal this person's idea, or they came up with a good idea they couldn't think of, they were pissed off, and so they stopped it. And that's what you're talking about, okay? It's the same thing. Like I said, that's the problem. And that is what you were looking at now, the idea that things are just out of hand. That's the thing, though. How do you get out of a communist country or a communist and change it back when it's concealed? Okay, we've got money. We've got trade. But the money supply and the wealth isn't about buying and selling. Okay? On the surface, it is. But you've got to add to this the concept that they will simply, move money about whenever the hell they want. If they want your money, it's gone. Okay? It's gone. It's wherever the hell they want it to be. And that is the problem, okay? Yes, I'm talking about the stuff at the moment more than the occult. But that's what you're talking about. The idea that they will just go glump and it's gone. That means you don't control your money anymore. You don't control your cash, okay? Whether it be cash or whether it be, in the bank or whatever, you do not control it. It is not yours, okay? It's yours as long as they want you to have it. They just take it away from you. That's it. That's all it comes down to. They will just take it away because they can. If they want to take it away from you, they can take it away because they have control. And that's the problem, especially in Britain. I can't talk for all countries. I don't live in all countries, but I suspect it's the same everywhere. Is that there isn't really capitalism as it was. Capitalism was just people not giving a toss. People just made money. Okay, you just go off and make some money, and that's all that happened. There may be some rules to stop people doing illegal things, but you go off and you make some money. And what you didn't get was as much cronyism. Okay, you don't get the idea that this person's not allowed to make this money. You don't get people put on bloody government lists to stop them making money and to prevent them from living their lives because some arsehole thinks it's got to be the same families all the time. No, that's not capitalism. Capitalism is people gaining money, losing money, people even being broke and bankrupt. That's what it's about. That's it. It's a harsh system. You know what's harsher? Slavery. You know what slavery is? What we have now. Think about this. You've got the worst of both worlds. You've got capitalism where you need money and assets, and you've got basically a cloaked communism where you don't actually own anything. See, that's right, you see. You don't own it. And I'm not saying you don't own it because it's got written here that you don't own this and that. I'm saying this. If they can take it off you, it isn't yours. If they can just take and they can just go and press a magic button and it's gone, it's wherever the hell they want it to be, then that means that isn't yours. That money there, that's not yours because they can just move it whenever the hell they want. They can just go like that and it's gone. Now, that's how communist countries work, where you don't actually own any of this stuff, where you may think you do, but you really don't, because they can just go and it's gone. And that means what we've got here isn't capitalism anymore. What we've got is a communist country pretending to be a capitalist country. That's what Britain is. And I suspect a lot of the world is, where it's pretending to be capitalism. We're pretending to be capitalists, but actually we're communists. Well, I'm not a communist. I'm not. I think it was a good idea, but to be honest, it didn't work. And the idea of everything owned by one state, it's fascist. You can't have everything owned by one thing. It doesn't work. You have to have different people fighting it out. So you've got a chance, or you've got slavery, okay? One person owns everything. He owns everyone. And that's your problem. And what you've got is this thing whereby, does it even make any sense when you have people saying, oh, and this guy's the richest man in the world? Is he? Is he really the richest man in the world or the richest man in Britain? But if all his assets are in Britain, then no, he's not, because they can just go like that and it's gone. They can just move that wherever the hell they want, and there's not much you can do about it, because the reality of the situation is that's how it works, okay? Numbers on a computer screen, they can move them where they want. Not just that. They can put purchase orders in on property. You've got a property worth £7 million. They can put a compulsory purchase order in for £1 and it's theirs. Or they can just take it. How are you going to stop them? You can't, because you're talking about the country. You're talking about something, something as of itself, a large entity that can just do whatever the hell it wants. And that is the problem you have. We don't have capitalism anymore. There's not even crony capitalism, because it isn't capitalism of any sort. All we've got is people just doing whatever the hell they want to do and just taking things. Like I said, what you're talking is theft. We're just going to take whatever the hell anybody wants. Yeah, we'll just take this there and we'll maybe move it, or maybe we won't. We'll just stick that down there. Why? Because that's what happens in communism. Because it's their money, so they'll just put it wherever the hell they want. You think it's yours. You think you work for it. It doesn't, as far as they're concerned, it's theirs. And they'll put it wherever the hell they want to, because why the bloody hell should this guy think that he might think he owns it, but why should he have control of that money just because he went to work or he did this? Why the hell? And that's what you're talking about, okay? And you haven't just got that. You've got the other threats, the other problems, and that is that, basically speaking, like I said, in capitalism, you got laissez-faire, let go and let pass. So you have natural advantages built in because you have people inheriting money. But what you got now is different. You've got like a train track. And someone will just decide, oh, no, these people here, they've got to go ahead. And they'll just stick a train. And all they need to do, if that person goes woomph right at the end, and then they'll build wall after wall after wall after wall to stop any of these people here getting through. And that is exactly what they do. So you have all these social policies. See, I'll put there a little social policies. That's what you end up with. See, social policies, what we're going to do is we're going to have people doing this and we can't have this way and we're going to have got to help this person. So you get groups that get help. And what that's about is elites helping each other because they know they're going to get it first. And also, really, a lot of the time, it's not about helping people. It's about sticking it to someone they don't like. So what they do is they say, we're going to help this group, so I get to stick the boot in that person. And it's never the person you think it is. Because basically speaking, they're very aware of the environment, how people will perceive them. And they want to be seen as just right on and trendy all the time, which means they'll attack the one they think they can get away with, the one they think it's okay to attack. So what they'll do is they'll stick the boot in on them as many times as they can. They will just stick the boot on them time and time again. They'll just keep kicking them and kicking them and kicking them and kicking them because they can. Because why shouldn't they do that as far as they're concerned? It's a perfectly reasonable thing to do, but it's not. It's not a reasonable thing to do. But that is what they do. So they say, oh, we're helping this guy. We're not. We're just doing it to hurt them or people over there. That's all it comes down to, just to hurt this set of people. That's all it is. And then the other aspect, you've got occultism, which is a different thing, okay? I'll move on to that a bit now. A lot means hidden, it really means real magic. And you've got the other problem there, you've got occultists fighting against each other. That's right. So you've got a group that is probably being hated throughout history that at this moment in time is attacking each other. Okay? So what is an occultist? Look, if you do any form of magic, we'll class you as an occultist, whether that be even yoga is a form of magic. So class this as New Age, but can also be classed as a form of magic because you're moving magic energy, meditation. There's practically anything, okay? And spells, rituals, there's all sorts of things which are classed as magic. Now, the thing with this is, and this is a problem, what you've got is you've got people fighting out against themselves and different rival groups. And that's what you have. So, of course, people will say, it's terrible because this person has done this and he's stopping me from doing it. No, he's not. Because the bottom line is, look, when you're talking occultism, what you tend to find is it's blocked so many bloody places. Okay, there's that much discrimination against occultists that what you've actually got is you've just got people doing their own stuff. You've got just people doing things. Okay, it's not stopping you from doing it because it's not like there's a limited number of punch cards. You know, because in reality, they've normally got to hustle and make things with things through themselves at some point. It always is, because that's how it works. They've got to push their way through. And so it doesn't stop you doing anything at all. But it doesn't matter because people really don't want to have to do anything. And so they blame somebody. Could be me, okay? I wrote over 400 occult books, so it's probably likely to be me. And then they'll do that. Yeah, and then they'll do that. And then you got problems as well, where, of course, that attracts attention from other people. So back to our first problem, the communist problem. Is it really communism or capitalism? Because they'll act the same way. They'll just say, right, we've decided, this whole group, country will say, we don't like that guy. So then they'll start pulling in favors. And what happens then? What happens then is you end up with the entire group of occultists get problems. And it wasn't caused by that guy or woman, it's caused by all these other people. See, occultists have to start being responsible. We've got to stop attacking each other because when we do, the other group members of society, the ones that have a certain amount of power to screw things up, screw it up for everybody. That's right. So when you go and you attack somebody, they screw it up for you and him and everybody else, not just what the person you intend to. You see, these people don't think of individuals; they think of categories. So they say, okay, we're trying to, for this person as an occultist and I don't like it. They say, okay, we'll make it different for him and everybody else who's an occultist. So when you do that, you attack yourself, you see? And that's the same with other things and that. You end up attacking yourself because they're not going to leave you out, you see? It becomes a matter of categories. And so everybody tries to stick the boot on everyone else. And then before you know where you are, you've got no freedom. You don't understand that means you can end up in a jail of your own making because you created that much problem for this other guy or woman or people that they may be on edge. They may have disappeared. They may have found a way around it, but you won't because you're not expecting it. And the reason you're not expecting it is because you target it at a specific person. Why should it affect me? That's why. That's how it actually works. That's why it affects you. Because it's just categories to them. You're not a person. You're just a number. You're not a free man or woman. You're just a person. You're not a person. You're just a number. Okay? You're just a category. A set of categories is all you are. Right? And that's all it is. So if you attack a person, they will then attack a category or categories that are linked to that person. That's it. That's all that happens. Okay? So you're buggering up for everybody else, certainly because you want to do it that way. So let's think about it. Let's think about things realistically speaking and think, why do we have to do it this way? We don't. And the thing is, as well, you'll find that people think, this trouble isn't real, it's not very big. No, this trouble can be very big. As in, do not be surprised if you cause problems, if you go somewhere else, or you go somewhere else in the world, and problems follow you. Do not be surprised if it gets worse when you change locations. The reasons for that, I think, is that this has happened. Okay, I'm not going to talk about what has happened. Is actually because at this point in time, occultism has been classified as a method or a subject used by criminals. I'll say that again. At this point in time, occultism has been classified as a subject used by criminals, which makes no sense because criminals use everything. They use YouTube, they use microphones, they know how to wash themselves. This is bullshit, but that is what they're saying. It could be because the war in Afghanistan has gone on so long, they're classing it as an occupation. And so if that's the case, then they're saying, well, they're still beheading occultists. So occultists are, occultism is illegal, which it is in some countries. So that means they're using occultism sort of as a method used by criminals, meaning if you execute an occultist and occultism is therefore a banned there, then occultism therefore is a method used by criminals. What difference does this make? Interpol is the word I would use, Interpol. They have something called a purple note. They have notes of different types, okay? And the purple note is for methods used by criminals. That's right. A purple note is for methods used by criminals. This means that if you're an occultist, you could go abroad, wherever that may be, and an Interpol note comes to some people in that country because you went in as an occultist. And that means then the Interpol, that's right, don't think, Interpol, they've got the right to do this. This is just an organization set up by the French, okay? You could set up an international draft desk through the society. It doesn't mean anything, okay? The other country is supposed to have the intelligence to ignore it. They're supposed to realize that Interpol just does something because it wants to. So if they're just full of a load of dickhead and twats, they'll do it because they want to do it. It does not mean anything, okay? It could simply be that they want their cultists to survive and no one else to. So what happens? You go there. Straight away, the purple note appears. Now, this, you've got to be careful. If you Google purple note online, you have to be careful you're looking at something about Interpol and not about a TV show. In reality, there is no TV show. It was placed on there so they can say it's about something different, something quite seedy and nasty, okay? So what happens then? Little purple note appears. What happens then? What do you think happens? Do you think the police of that country then say, oh, no, we can't do anything because this is wrong? No. Like little bitches, they do everything they're supposed to do because Interpol told them to. That's right. That means whichever country you travel to, wherever it is, will be stupid enough to simply do something because the French told them. That's right. The French tell them, so they do it. And that means that's what will happen. And then what happens then? Do they just pull in the regular police? Hell no. No, they're not just going to pull in the regular police. That's right. Interpol will pull in, they'll end up with MI5 or classified police, which means at this point, they're either going to kill you, they're going to torture you, you're going to go through hell. It's going to be like the Crystal Maze, okay? You know that thing with Richard O'Brien, the Crystal Maze? It'll be like that. And this is simply because, like I said, they've classified occultism as methods used by criminals. But like I said, it makes no sense. We wash up. Well, I'm not a criminal, but people wash up. Criminals wash up. They use YouTube. They paint things, they drink water. How the hell are all these not methods used by criminals? Everything is, because they do everything that everybody else uses. And occultism makes no sense. Why would a criminal use occultism? It's not even illegal. It is not even illegal. It's illegal in some countries, fair enough. But you know what? Don't do it in those countries. The idea that they just get to say, oh, that's it, will cause problems for people, which is what they're doing. They're causing problems. But why the hell, in the first place, are they allowed to do that? Why can Interpol just say, right, okay, we've decided this, the war in Afghanistan's gone on this long, people have been beheaded for being occultists still. So therefore, occultists are criminals in these countries. So what are we going to do? We're just going to see occultism as a method used by criminals. And when anyone goes anywhere, we'll put a bloody purple note into the embassy of that country and all hell will break loose. Could it happen to you? Yeah, if you're an occultist, it could do. I don't know how many people it happens to. I suspect it does because all hell is broken loose sometimes. It's broken loose for me. All hell can happen. And it happens because of the bloody purple note, because some ridiculous Frenchman has basically sat there and decided that he's going to have this funny old wheeze and he's going to fuck it up for every occultist in the world. And that's basically what you're talking about. And of course, the police in all these countries really don't have the intelligence to work out. You're not supposed to listen to Interpol. I'll say it again. You do not listen to Interpol. They're fucking French. Okay? If you were French, that's fine. Why would you listen to a French police force, right, who put out a private thing to get you to do something when you are not French? Why would you do that? Okay? So there you go. What do they do, these countries? Do you round up the occultists when they come in? Maybe. Do they kill them? Maybe. Do they follow them round? I would imagine that would be very likely. Yeah. Why? Because the French decide they want Interpol decide they want to do it. Why the hell would they do that for? Because they want their cultists not to have any competition. So they will just set them on everybody else. You see what I'm saying here? This is the sort of world we're talking about here, where people can just put you on a list or put a subject on a list and all hell breaks loose. How about boxing? Boxing is used by criminals. Is it the same thing? How about mixed martial arts? That's used by them, certainly. Hell, how about kung fu? You know, some of them use kung fu, some of the Oriental gangs. Hell, you could probably probably a decent amount of them probably done Tai Chi. You know, how far do you go? And that is the problem, is we are losing freedom. We've lost it pretty much. We've lost freedom and we have lost the ability to have power over what we're supposed to have power over. Like I said before, money. What happens? They move it wherever the hell they want. So if you've got money and they don't want it, they'll move it. If they don't want you to have money, they'll just make sure that it's not there. They'll create costs that don't bloody exist. Okay? Because at this point in time in history, it's not capitalism. Certainly in Britain, isn't capitalism. There's so many rules and regulations that can do whatever the hell they want, and they'll just move it around, bounce it around. That's it. They'll bounce it around because they want to. Right. How about these banking institutions? That's the trouble. The global institutions. So how the hell do they stop your money being stolen somewhere? That's the thing. If it's global, it must be happening practically everywhere. Maybe not everywhere, but almost everywhere. Imagine what that's like, though. You have your money and you've saved it up, you put it away, and it might be that you're elderly, might not be. It doesn't really matter, okay? You put your money and it disappears. Why does it disappear? Because somebody wants it to. Could it be stolen? Yeah, they can just take it and say it's stolen. But there's other things they can do. They can freeze your account indefinitely. That's right. Oh, no, we haven't stolen it. It's still there. No, it's not. If you can't get your money out, it isn't there. Okay? Why would they do it? Because somebody wants to. Somebody rings up. Excuse me, blah, 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 and that's it. That's it. Or they block your card. No problem. They block your card's gone. Right? You've got to unblock the card. But it can be done like that because they want to do it. Which means your money isn't your money anymore. Okay? They can take it from you if they want to. Because all our money it's not all cash, is it? Let's be honest, a lot of it's online and stuff like that. And that's the thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that there's risks in the online world. I know how it works. Of course, I've had money stolen. Of course, all the royalties I get, I don't get. But neither does anyone else. We're getting money taken away somewhere. I'm not going to say where. I don't know where. Okay? I don't know which end it is. Whether it's a company before where they're getting scammed or afterwards they're getting scammed or whether what it is. But we're getting scammed. We're all getting conned here. Okay? We're all getting conned out of it. In fact, probably everyone involved is getting conned. That's the tragedy. But the bottom line is that, it's just the way it works. This is life now. But it shouldn't be. Why the hell should it be that we have to sit here and decide whether we get whether we put our money in, not whether, or rather we don't get to say whether we get to keep our money, and then you've got inflation that erodes it away. Now this links again in with occultism because we have this concept as well, and many people, that somehow the devil is in charge of money. This whole mammon thing, money is evil. And the thing is, though, anyone I think who's ever read any descriptions of hell, I was trying to astral project through or look and then like that. You never see money. I'm just saying the concept that's all there is where the hell is the money? There's no money there. There's no concept of money. The reality is it could just be a big hole in the ground. It could simply be this, that all of the different countries in hell, that all the water's rock. That means you've just got a lot of holes, is all you have. And I suspect for many of those entities in hell, that's the only way they could understand it, because I don't think they're going to understand wide open space like we have necessarily. It'll be difficult for them at first to understand. So they would just be seeing place section dot, which means Britain, still quite a size. It's got a large population, but it'll be small. I mean, I hope for Christ's sake they're not stacking everybody from all time in the same place. I hope there's like levels. America's quite big, but it means then you'd be stuck in your own segment. You couldn't get out. So if you're American, you're stuck in America. You've got a good thing, though. You can go to Canada. You could go to Mexico. You can go right away up. Britain, we don't. We're an island. We can't even get to Ireland. It's what we're going to do, climb over the top. That's what we'll have to do, wouldn't we? And, of course, Europe, they're all right. They're set up. But I don't think that's such a bad thing necessarily. I'm just saying, is it such a bad thing that there's rock between everybody? All I'm saying is, do you live next to a cottage or a place where you'd rather didn't come over? I'm just saying, maybe there is an upside. But you see what I'm saying? But whatever you see, however see it, there's no money there. Nobody even describes seeing money in hell. Now let's look at the Garden of Eden. Nobody describes seeing any cash there either, or anywhere else. So don't get this idea. Oh, we'll do because we'll get this money, and we'll have. Where the hell is it? This money. It's our invention. We've invented this. Okay. Look, it's got us all over it. We started off with gold and silver and stuff that was worth things, that was rare. And what do? We replaced it with paper. Why did we replace it with paper? So we could defraud each other. We could then hold all the gold and silver and give all the idiots the paper. And then we thought, what am I doing holding all this gold and silver? I can hold any amount. I can loan this bastard out. I can loan this bugger, a guy over there, and he won't know because he's got a piece of paper he thinks is worth something. And then what do? We think, what the hell have we got this gold for at all? Let's flog this bloody gold. And then we'll have some bonds. And bonds are basically pieces of paper. There's paid with more pieces of paper. We've got no problem now. All we've got now is pieces of paper which have convinced everybody is worth something. Okay? Where's all the gold gone? Probably to the people whose idea it was to sell it. Where's the gold? It's just gone. The gold's gone. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone, okay. They took it. I'm just saying that's got human handiwork all over it, that has. That evolution from gold. Let's give them the paper, keep the gold. Fuck the gold. Let's get rid of the gold. Let's sell the gold. Let's just give them all pieces of paper. See? See that way it moves along? It's our handiwork, it is. See, we'll have no self-awareness. We'll lose all sense of what the hell it's about. Originally, the paper was just a way of holding back the gold. And then we just get it as a way where we'll just give them the paper and fuck it, we'll just keep all the gold. We'll sell the gold. What do you want the gold for? See? How the hell are we going to trade with any alien species? What are we going to trade with? We've just got pieces of paper. How can we trade? We have worthless money. See, if we still had the gold, they could look and say, okay, well, our planet doesn't have much gold. It has this much value to us. Therefore, we can sell you and we can actually use your money to buy and sell. We can buy and sell things. Not even to governments, but to individuals, because you have money that we can use, you see? But we can't. Because our money is valueless. It's pieces of paper. What the bloody hell are they going to do with a piece of paper? Think about it this way. What would you do if an alien wanted something and, you had no value for collectibles or anything like that, and they wanted to buy something, but what do you want to give you with a piece of cloth? No bloody use. What are you going to do with it? Blow your nose on it? It has no value. The gold had value at that point in time. We could trade with them, which is why in the past you probably had all these things which people thought were gods and this and that, because we could trade with them. We could trade. We could not just trade. We could buy and sell. We could use our money. We could use our money to buy and sell. They were to sell stuff to them, and they could give us stuff which was valuable. They may have diamonds or something similar. They'd say, well, they don't think you understand this, but well, we have some gold or something, and they'll probably look and they maybe use the same thing. You know why they do that? Because they're not human, so they would have the sense to hold on to stuff which had some value. So then they could go and say, well, we've got some of this stuff. We've got some plutonium, which is a bit dangerous. What we can do with trade. We've got some diamonds, and we'll give you so many of these, and that's worth this much to you. And we'll give so much of the gold for us, and then we'll trade at this rate, and then we can buy and sell. You see, but we can't now. See, that means that any trade that happens with aliens now has to go through governments, which means they've got to get a load of shit which they can think gathered together to give to them. That's right. They've got to gather together a load of crap to sell to aliens to get anything back. That's right. Or they've got to enslave us. So they've got to take a load of your patents that you own and a load of your ideas. They've got to probably take some of your, maybe take some of your ink capacity, maybe they want that, or some of your labour that you do and sell that, give that away. They've got to take some of your some of your items you do own, like you probably maybe own some gold, they may have to take that off you. Find a way to scam that off you so you get that. So they can give it to the aliens because we don't have any more. They don't have any of that, you see. They didn't need that. They just decided it was all going to be pieces of paper. It's not worth anything to anybody else. It's not. See, it's the Star Trek idea, isn't it? Well, hey, it's going to be like Star Trek. We won't have money. Is that really what Star Trek's about? The idea, it was a good idea to get money. To get rid of it wasn't a good idea. Because what do they have in Star Trek? They have credits. What is credit? It is a loan. That's right. It means that if you work for Starfleet, they are paying you in loans. It means that, basically speaking, you are paid with a debt. So you only get rid of that debt when you spend the damn credits. So if you save the credits up, you have less money. So you can't buy your way out of Starfleet because it would be like the military. You could buy your way out. You can't buy yourself out because you have no sodding money. And the reason you have no money is because, basically speaking, they're giving you debt. So if you come to the end and you've still got anything left, you couldn't leave. Doesn't matter whether it's a 15-year term, a 5-year term, or a week, because you owe them something and you've got nothing to pay them with because the whole bloody planet that you come from has no money. So you've got no money supply. You've got no money, and they're giving you a debt with no way of paying it because they're not paying you. See, what's happening is they're not paying you. They're giving you a debt. You're paying them to work for them. You see, you're giving them money to work for Starfleet. So you can't get out there because the longer you work, right, the more of these credits you've got to spend. You've got to spend these damn credits, and you can't get out of it. There's no way you can get out of Starfleet because, like I said, you're writing up debt by working there. You see, you can't ever pay back. So how does Starfleet trade with things like the Ferengi? That's the problem. The Ferengi scammed us. How are they supposed to trade any other way? You got no sudden money. You've got debt. How the hell can you buy anything with something which has no value to anyone else and to you is worth less than zero? You know? Oh, and they did this and they took this and they stole this and then they sold this. They exchanged it for this that wasn't any good. Yes, because you've got no money. See? You know who else got no money? Us. We've got no money. We've got pieces of paper. How the hell are aliens supposed to sell anything with us when they've got pieces of paper? It's like this. Imagine that you are a military contractor, big sophisticated technology, and you go down this big market square and you want to sell this very, very expensive plane. What the hell are you going to do? Are you going to take sheep and cattle in exchange? No. That's what it'll be like. Well, I've got these prize onions and I have these sheep. Well, we'll have these sheep together and we'll have all these sheep and then we'll give you the exchanges for these sheep and for this and that and this farm. It's bullshit. They can't do that because they've got a load of stuff to sell. How the hell are they going to do the farm? They've just created an expense. That bloody farm has a cost. You've got to feed the sheep. The sheep are just going to die. There's no way they could sell all this stuff. There's no possible way they could do it because it's bullshit. There's no money. They can't just take a big plane and then put it in and then expect them to take a load of sheep and cattle. See, that's the problem. We have no money. The only thing we could possibly use is the money which isn't money. And that's the gold coins that governments still make. You know, like sometimes they make them into rings and put them on rings and things. It's the only thing we can use. That's it. You know, the only money we actually have we can use, the average person, is if we've got any ceremonial coinage. You know what trouble that is? The price of the coins over the metal is very, very high, which means it's worth a lot less than you pay for it. So you've lost straight away. There's no way we have nothing we can do it with. And every one of these coins are a different size. They're not all like 1 ounce and stuff like this. And of course, they're in quite big sizes. You know, there's no way we can't do it. You see? In the ancient world, this would be easy stuff. We had silver, we have gold, but we could easily work this out. This would be not difficult at all. They could have popped down, we could have done a deal, we could have given them some stuff and took a little thingy with us, and that wouldn't have been a problem, but we can't. Because they got rid of the means of doing it and they just got pieces of paper. How the hell can we do deals? How can we buy and sell if there's no usable currency? How are you going to buy and sell to them? See, if we had that, this would all happen faster by now. The space programs around the world, we don't need them. They're already aliens. I think we already know that. But somebody would have done a deal. They'd have just done a deal with them. Some rich man would have woke up and would have walked over and he would have done a deal, or somebody would have done something. Look, we can do this. You know, that I went and tried to pay or abduct some guy with enough money. He said, look, this is fine, but this ship is worth something. You seem to have another one over there. Why don't we just do this? Okay. You know, set me down here. I'll arrange it. I'll you know, we'll have a location. I'll send you a load of gold and stuff, and this stays here. And then we can start some trade instead of just whizzing up and looking at people and maybe fixing medical problems and make it look like you're being evil. Why don't we just do some deals and then we can set some things up ourselves? We can then go and we can buy and sell some of these flying saucers, and you know, tell us how we will work and we'll do our best. And then we'll just do that and we'll start off from there. Instead of all this, let's build a bloody great big rocket. You know. Then we build another one. Yeah, another one. We'd have just bought it, what you would have done. We would have just bought it from them. Because why the hell not? Why not just buy it instead of developing it? Look, think about it. What is more expensive? Designing and building your own plane or buying one? It's actually easy to buy one. You know what's also easier? Buy a ticket. We could even do that. Good. If they're coming here and we could just buy a ticket. We could just hitch a ride. See? I don't want to hit you right. I'm quite happy here. But the bottom line is we could have simply done that. But we can't because we've got no bloody money. We've got nothing to offer them. You see? The only way we could get our way up there is to offer anal probing. That's right. That's the only damn thing you've got to offer them because you got no money. Would they like a watch? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to try and exchange them for stuff. You're going to get your sheep out. You're going to get your sheep and your goats and stuff out. You're going to get your knitting and try to sell them that. Or maybe you'll tell them that you've got a nice table here your grandmother left you. You know how terribly inconvenient that is? It's not practical because we needed the money. See? We needed the gold and stuff. So all this online money, but how the hell is anyone supposed to do anything? It's impossible. Look, this is the planet. They're all whizzing around out there and doing God knows what. And they're landing and coming off. And you know what? We're the only ones there without any bloody money. That's right. We're sitting there. We're sitting there in a cafe, and all the other kids, you know what they've gotten? All the other kids have gotten ice cream. They've got an ice cream with a flake. You know why we don't have one? Because we've got no money. We haven't. We've got stuff that we use with ourselves, but it's no bloody good. We need stuff other people can use. It's no use otherwise. What the hell are we going to do? We need things they can use. See, gold is usable. It's not just a precious metal. People use gold for stuff. It gets used. Gold is usable. And it really is. Okay? It's a very good conductor of electricity. It's a usable thing, gold. It gets used. Get it? Yeah, it's usable. And it's convenient. Small amount, valuable. See? Coins, you know where you're at. But imagine all the wasted opportunities. Imagine all the times that aliens appeared and somebody could have done something. They could have said, well, I'll tell you what, This is, look at something and say, how about that little thingy there? And I'll give you some of this for it. And we'll just, and that would advance things. That's probably how things advanced. That is probably how technology moved on in the ancient world. How did the ancient Egyptians build the pyramids? Because they bought the knowledge of aliens. See, they don't have to, the aliens don't have to build it, they just have to tell them how to do it. You see? They just bought the knowledge. They had golden stuff. This is rare to us. It's rare to you as well. That's great. Okay. How the hell do I build this? How much is it? Say it's much easier. We're going to do it the other way. It keeps falling down, keeps falling down. What are we going to do? We do space the other way. Yeah, we want to get an Alpha Centauri. Hey, we got to design this. Several trillion later, yeah, it's got that far. Or do we go, we bought a spaceship, how we can get there? Or do we just buy a ticket and just go there straight away, come back, whiz around, come back? But we can't. The only way we could do that is if we get them here. So we've got to get aliens here. If we're not going to have money that's actually worth something, we've got to get them here and living here so we can buy things off them. See, if some of them are here, you see, they have to look like us. That means we need aliens that are more or less like us, like maybe longer legs or shorter legs, but can pass for us. So they don't need to pass for the average person. They need to pass for the dodgy person. I mean, the person who doesn't look like a prime specimen or the person who's unusual. If you can get them to pass for them, then, of course, they're using our money. That's right. They're then using our piece of shit, paper money, backed up by pieces of paper instead of whatever the hell they've got, which is bound to be better. But that means then we can buy things from them. And also, we can print as much of that bloody money as we need. We can just print more. And the reason we can print more is because it's just pieces of paper. Trouble is, though, if they ever try to leave, it's going to be worth nothing, which means once you get them in that system, they can't leave. That's right. Once you get them in that system, they can't leave anymore because the ship will break down or something will happen and they won't be able to leave because everything they've worked for and have would be here. See, that's us. We can't leave because everything we have is here because we've basically got nothing we can trade or buy with. We don't have any of that stuff. We have nothing we can buy and sell with because we're stuck it all here. Now, that's okay for us because, look, we haven't really whizzed around a lot in space yet. Certainly, most of us haven't, have we? Really haven't been there. We're just people. We're just humans. But maybe we're not so primitive. Maybe we are. Who knows? But we don't whiz around all the time. We don't. Most of us don't even have the resources to travel abroad that much. We don't. We just travel, most of them in our local area. Maybe we get to go somewhere sometimes, or maybe we don't. We go to the shop, maybe the pub. We might meet friends. And you know what? It's fine because, if the truth be known, the world's full of different languages. And there is totally hundreds of languages and dialects in the world. So if you travel a lot, the problem you're going to have is they're not going to understand your dialect because basically the linguophone view of the world is that every language has one version, that's it. And it's not at all. These linguophone things are not at all like any of the other dialects. They can't. And, no one can learn 100 languages. You can't. You can't. Oh, anyway, the language books, what do they tell you? How to go to the toilet, how to ask your name. They don't need any of these things. Maybe a bit. But you need other things. They never tell you how to, how to have a conversation, a real one. They don't. You couldn't do anything from that. So that's a problem as well. So the idea that, we all travel anywhere, we don't really. What happens is people stick within a certain area because there's only so many languages. We can only speak so many languages. And so people just tend to manage the best they can, That's it. Hopefully you travel with other people with the same language, so it's not too bad. And that's just it. That's the way it works. Because so many languages. Which means when we do go onto other planets, they'll probably be split up by language. That's reality. You'll have different planets with different languages because it's just not practical otherwise. And it seems that a lot of the world seems to speak English as a second language. And I'm not just saying that because I speak English, but because they do. It's probably make more sense to use that as a language, really. I know they say that on Star Trek, the language of space, but it makes sense because what are we going to do otherwise? Are we going to make the mess we've got here and just have like lots of different languages? We can't do that. We can't. it would be mess up, complete mess up. And the thing is, as well, people who are really good linguists tend to have, not always, but they tend to have a poor sense of self. So they say. Now, I know this could be bullshit because based the sort of stuff they've been saying for years, lots of people, and it ends up being proven to be wrong. It's the same sort of thing. But they say they've got a poor sense of self. People who are very good linguists, they can practically learn a language from hitting the ground because they don't have that strong sense of self. Now, if you have a very strong sense of self, learning a language will be hell. It will, because your identity is tied up with that language that you speak. And that is the problem as well. And that's the thing, isn't it? How do the aliens get around then, even if they like us for languages and stuff like that? Maybe this is easier for them. But what I'm saying is, that's the thing, we've locked everything in. So we've got another problem as well, haven't we? We have the wrong money that isn't usable. On top of which, we've created a communist system, or communist-like, how it actually functions, with money, with looks like capitalism. So they can snatch your money whenever they want. They can move it around. It doesn't seem to be about buying and selling anymore, and it's valueless. That means that, essentially speaking, if the aliens come here, they're going to be pissed because we're not right. We'll be taking them hostage, unwittingly so. But that's not necessarily true. I suppose God knows what the hell where they come from is like. But what I'm saying is that's the thing. We need freedom. We need to make sure that we can, buy and sell with anything we want to, anyone want, travel, but also the things like the fact that we can have more rights and freedom. We don't really have these rights or freedom, but we need them. Okay, man, has been S Rob. You can visit my website, www.srob.co.uk. That's www.srob.co.uk. Bye.